Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on November 8, 2022. COP27, Pacific Islands call for global tax to mitigate climate disasters. The Independent, Barbados PM launches blistering attack on rich nations at COP27 climate talks. The Guardian, sustainable switch, who pays the climate bills? Reuters, COP27 news, live, Pakistan PM says time for rich nations to help is, now or never. The Independent, we have the collective capacity to transform, says MIA Motley at COP27. Ukraine war, Russia and US discuss holding talks on nuclear weapons, as Putin's troops prepare for street fighting. Sky News, Ukraine war, US confirms communications with Kremlin. BBC.co.uk, we're keeping lines of communication with Moscow open, says White House security advisor. Guardian News, after mobilization, the Kremlin is turning to dirty bomb diplomacy. The Moscow Times, US confirms communications with Kremlin amid war in Ukraine. COP26 1 year on, how much progress has been made? The Guardian, what's been achieved since COP26 and what hasn't? The Independent, commentary, COP27 a year after Glasgow Climate Pact, we're burning more fossil fuels than ever. CNA, World War III is already here, in a form we did not anticipate. Herald Scotland, Birdgirl, Maya Rose Craig, here's why I won't be going to COP27. Tory MP rebuked over crass racial slur in Commons. Russia installs dragon's teeth barriers to slow advance of Ukrainian forces. The Guardian, Russia building dragon's teeth defenses near Mariupol as they prepare for Ukraine counterattack, says UK. Developing countries will need $2 trillion a year in climate funding by 2030. The Guardian, Global South needs $2 trillion a year to fight climate crisis. Al Jazeera English, Global South needs $2 trillion a year to tame, cope with climate. Al Monitor, developing countries need $1 trillion a year for climate action, report. Tuvalu first to call for fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty at COP27. The Guardian, Tuvalu joins Vanuatu to call for treaty to phase out fossil fuels. The Independent, sinking Pacific Island nation issues historic call for treaty to phase out fossil fuels. CNBC, treaty against fossil fuels floated at UN climate summit. The Washington Post, teaching our children from books, not the sea, how climate change is eroding human rights in Vanuatu. UN experts demand crackdown on greenwashing of net zero pledges. The Guardian, UN urges Mark Carney-led climate initiative to meet higher standards. Financial Times, toxic cover-up, UN draws red line around net zero greenwashing. France 24 English, banks can't stomach genuine climate targets. Quartz, rank deception, chief slams corporate greenwashing at COP27. Blow to vulnerable states as Rishi Sunak shuns calls for climate reparations. The Independent, acting on climate is right thing to do, says Rishi Sunak at COP27. Guardian News, there must be tangible progress on climate issues at COP27, says Sturgeon. The National, COP27, Sturgeon's £5 million is right. We created this crisis, Herald Scotland. Herald Scotland, UK steps up climate finance support for African countries. US midterms, there's a sense of dread about America's future, and we should all worry. Sky News, US midterm elections, angry, petrified. US voters share their fears. BBC, US midterms polls, who will win control of Congress? BBC.co.uk, US midterms, is it still the economy, stupid? Podcast. The Guardian, commentary, the best word for this US midterm election is normal. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.